Alright, people, so who is ready for a rehouse? I know I am. I've got a couple of tarantulas here. We are going to rehouse both of them. So settle in, grab a drink, some popcorn, snuggle up with your honey, get ready for a rehouse. Alright, so this is the first enclosure. This is going to be for a New World terrestrial that I have. Just basic setup here. You see just little hide and some leaf litter there, and a piece of bark here that I bought off of a website called Etsy, which is kind of like eBay. You buy stuff from individual sellers. I bought some bark with lichen and some moss, stuff like that, because I'm trying to go like more natural and more organic and more bioactive with all my enclosures. She sold me some really awesome stuff. The main reason that I got the bark with the lichen was because of a species of tarantula that I'm really trying to get my hands on, and as soon as I find out that I can get it, I will probably have it. So hopefully that video will be coming eventually. That is like the holy grail of tarantulas for me. But enough about that. Let's move on to the tarantula that we're going to rehouse now, and that is my Aphanopilma Johnny Cashi. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I'm rehousing this little guy, and one of them is because it never has really settled into this enclosure, as you will see. It just never really burrowed, didn't really use the bark hide that I had for it, and so it never really settled into it. I've had it in this enclosure the entire time that I've had this tarantula. But the other reason that I am rehousing it is because this is one of 3 tarantulas that I still have on cocoa fiber, and of course I'm trying to get away from that. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy in his new house, and hopefully it'll like it. Now this rehousing I expect to go pretty smooth. In fact, I can probably do a transfer by hand, because this is a pretty docile tarantula. Can't climb the side of the enclosure very well, but there it is. That is the Aphanopilma Johnny Cashi. Comes from a region in California near Folsom Prison area, which some of you may know. Johnny Cash back in the late 60s did a concert at Folsom Prison, and the males are mostly black. I'm sorry, I totally brain farted there. I was concentrating more on the spider, but it went right in, as you can see. The males are mostly black, and of course Johnny Cash was known as the Man in Black, so here we go. I totally apologize for really failing to show you guys the rehouse. Wasn't nothing really, just kind of touch it with a paintbrush off my finger onto the substrate. So there you go. The other one promises to be a little more exciting because it is an old world. It's not an arboreal, so I've got that on my side. It is a fossorial, but it is still an old world. I actually have not seen it in a while, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. But there is the first rehouse of the night, my Aphanopilma Johnny Cashi. Okay, so once again, before we rehouse the next tarantula, I want to apologize again for screwing up the transfer on that last rehouse. I was so busy concentrated on talking and getting the tarantula into its new home, I forgot to move the camera. Don't crucify me for that. I apologize, but here is the enclosure for the next one. I did it kind of like I did a couple of my other fossorials, where I piled the substrate higher on one side than I did the other, and you can see the moist layer underneath. Lots of spag moss, some leaf litter, and then you can see the pre-made burrow there, and then some sticks all around the pre-made burrow there for some anchor points for webbing. That is the basic setup. Now, the next tarantula that we're going to be rehousing is one that I got as part of the mystery box from Pulp Friction. This is the Orphanacus species blue penne, or penne blue, depending on who you ask. And again, you can see another one that is still on cocoa fiber, and I'm trying to get away from that. I don't know if this one has outgrown this enclosure yet, but definitely needs to be rehoused out of this crummy old cocoa fiber. As I'm talking, I'm still not sure how I'm going to get this one out. You can see a couple of feet down in there. I think I will probably try to get it to come out of this hole here by poking in this hole here. And of course, I will have a catch cup. Let me think about this for a second. Get my camera set up so hopefully we can see this, and then we'll move on. So this one being an old world, I am not entirely sure how this is going to go, but I'm hoping that I can just kind of poke it out. Like I said, this is one that I have not seen for a long time. I see glimpses of it, and that's about it. I never see it feed, because it always stays inside its burrow, of course. It's a pet hole for the most part. Now, if this poking it out trick doesn't work, I am not sure what to do next, and it doesn't seem to be working. So let me regroup and we'll come back. So this next method I've never attempted myself, but I've seen it done. But I have seen this one kind of come up when I was doing this, which is watering. I'm going to try maybe doing the flood method, and hopefully I can get it to come on up and out. And there are the legs. Let's get ready with the catch cup, or bottle in this case. Here it comes. The entire enclosure now is almost completely flooded, and it's still halfway in its burrow. This is crazy. Never had such an issue with a tarantula here. So let me try to coax it on out. Oh, there it is. No, come on, don't. Oh, what'd you do that for? That thing just ran right down underneath in the water. Crap, guys, hold on. Alright, so it's a good thing I didn't get any of that last little bit on video. That was insane. That was probably kind of one of the craziest rehousings that I've done. I tried the flood method, and the darn thing, I had it almost all the way out, and then it just ran right back down in there, literally underwater. I have never, ever seen a tarantula do that. And of course, that sent me into panic mode, so I started removing old substrate and webbing and the cork bark hide and stuff. And then the enclosure was still like 3/4 full of water, and it was literally underneath the water. So I took it to the sink, dumped most of the water out. There was just one small chunk of substrate left. I went to flip it over, and the tarantula was on the other side of it. And of course, it made a run, and I had to catch it. But finally, we did catch it without too much trouble, and now we're going to rehouse it. Let me get the other enclosure ready, and we will put it in its new home. Alright guys, here we go. Let's try to get it in its new home. I've got a catch cup ready. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it'll just kind of go right on out. Oh, it wants to throw up a threat posture and bite at the straw. Oh, yep, it just bit the straw. As long as you keep backing up, I don't really care. Oh, bit the straw again. Come on, you're almost there. There we go. All right. Now, if it will just sit tight for a second, I will give you guys a quick look at the Orphanacus Penne Blue, or Blue Penne. Like I said, it just kind of depends on who you ask. This tarantula is at least a good 2.5 to 3 inches right now. I would say, give or take. I have no idea how many times it's molted. I have not been able to keep up with that because, like I said, this is a fossorial species. It's a pet hole, but we've gotten a look at it today. You can't really see it that good on the camera here, but at each one of its leg sections there, you see those stripes. There's like a yellowish color to them, so it's pretty interesting. But there it is. After a crazy rehouse, my Orphanacus species Penne Blue is now in its new home. And I don't know why, but like every time I think about this thing, or I'm just kind of talking to myself about this thing, I keep saying she. I don't ever really do that. I'm just kind of really a stickler about people that say she or he or whatever without even thinking. If I don't know the sex of a tarantula, it's an it. I don't say he or she. It just takes too long to say that. I just say it. But with this one, I don't know why. I just keep saying she. And well, with that attitude that you just kind of saw inside the bottle when I was trying to coax it out when it was biting the straw, that kind of an attitude, it might well be a she, a female. We don't know. But there it is, guys. Once again, we got both of them rehoused. This was the Orphanacus species Blue Penne in its new home. If you enjoyed this video, let me know with a thumbs up and a comment. If you have not subscribed, please do that. Share this video with your friends. And always, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. Hope you had a wonderful day or a wonderful night wherever you may be. Keep an eye out for some more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. God bless.